I will show you what I have done so far today. So for right now, I have all of these chairs stacked over here because another teacher said that they might be moving these ones out and giving me the same chairs as the other 4th grade classes. So for right now, I'm just gonna leave them stacked over here. And then all of this stuff over here is stuff that was left by another teacher. So for right now, I just stored it over here and I will go through it later on. There's also some stuff in some of the cupboards. I have a nice supply of like tissue and Ziplocs and things like that. So I'm gonna have to go through all of that and organize it later. I have right now all my books for the kids piled over here. I think this is going to be my like student supply area and where I keep supplies, and then this is going to be my small group table. For right now, I have the desk kind of like this. I'm not sure what I'm going to do as far as how I'm going to have them situated yet. These desks up here are different size, and I know at the end of last year, they said they were going to give me the same ones as these. So I'm not sure if they're going to trade those out or not. I'm really hoping so because they're really bad desks. Like, they're not in good condition at all. So hopefully I will get rid of those and get some more of these ones. And then over here I have some stuff that I'm going to deal with later on. I have like some magnetic letters. I have storage bins and all kinds of like organizational type stuff. Fabric for my bulletin boards. So that's stuff I'm going to deal with later. I'm not going to deal with that today. And then I have some other random things in here. I have the dice containers that I made, and just some other like bins and games and things like that. So I'm going to do all of that later as well. And then over here, I have supplies that I started to like get out and get organized. So I have eraser tops and a couple of other erasers that were left over, some sticky notes, some thin markers, and some big markers for the kids. I have glue sticks. I have a bunch of random bookmarks that the kids can have, some scissors, some expo markers, and Mr. Sketch, because come on, who doesn't love Mr. Sketch? And then I have a container of the facial pads. These are from the Dollar Tree, and you get 3 for $1, so I got enough of them for a class set. And then I have a bag of crayons, and I have the containers from Dollar Tree that these will fit into perfectly. So for right now, I'm leaving them in the bag, and I will deal with that later. And then I have a little like mini toolbox that's gonna sit on my desk. I have some of like the essentials, like my flare pens, pencils, sticky notes, glue, and Mr. Sketch. So I started filling that a little bit. I have some flares. I have a couple pencils that have my name that I had since like elementary school, so I threw those in there. I have a couple glue sticks and some Mr. Sketch. I also have this set. I think I'm going to stick in one of my drawers since they're the smaller ones. And then I also want to stash of just black ones in my drawer, so those are set aside for later. I also have my nurse kit that I put together, so I need to get mints on it, but I have some Band-Aids. I got the colored kind from the Dollar Tree, so it has like blue, green, purple, and I think pink. Just because, I mean, they're more fun. And then nurse passes. And then I also got these little trash cans because they're cute. And I'm going to stick one of them at the VIP table. And I had 2 of them. I'm not sure if I'm going to stick the other one over there as well, or if I'm going to stick it somewhere else. But I still thought they were cute, and they were at Walmart. Ours were kind of near the office area, but they was kind of in the middle of the aisles, stuck somewhere. So you'd have to kind of look, but they are from Walmart. And then, I'll set you down for a second. And then I have my teacher toolbox. So I have whiteout, staples, highlighters, book rings, magnets, tape, binder clips, permanent markers, paper clips, erasers, brads, Velcro, crayons for me, like if I'm making samples of something, safety pins, vis-a-vis, index cards, hole punchers, and rubber bands. So some of those are filled and some are not. That one's kind of hard to open. So I have a list of some of the things that I need to get to fill the rest of those. I have a bunch of just random stuff right now. I have an extra set of Mr. Sketch. These are going to go on my VIP table. And this is going to hold my supplies for the VIP table, I think. It opens up. It's just like one of those little caddies. And then, let's see. I have erasers. And these are the big neon kind from Walmart. They were in like the cheap back-to-school supplies that they had in the middle of the aisles. Each student is going to get a book bag or a pencil bag similar to this. And they're going to have pencils in it and then an eraser. And it's going to be kind of a management system that I'm going to use for pencils. So I will explain how I'm going to do that later when I talk about my classroom management stuff. And then I have just some extra containers right now. And then I have a container that has some back to school stuff. So I have like my Scream Team and job cards. These are for my standards to list on the board. My secret student sign. Just some random things for back to school. And I'll show you this. I was going to wait, but I showed you already on accident. So I have this Who is My Teacher, and it's like a little quick scrapbook that I made with pictures of my family and friends and when I was younger. So I'm going to use that to tell the kids about me at the beginning of the school year. And then I just threw up a couple of these containers. Right now they're not even filled, but I just wanted them up. And then I also put this pocket chart for my schedule up, but the cards, they come like 3 to a page, and they didn't cut them ahead of time or like perforate them or anything, so I'm going to have to take them home and use my cutter because I want to make sure that they're straight. So that is all I have done for today. I have some more random stuff over here on this shelf that is from the other teacher that I need to go through. And I think I'm going to be using that bookshelf for my classroom library. I'm not really sure. I have to see if they have another one because I have a lot of books. And I'm not sure what else to do with them because that's the only other shelving unit I have and that one's built in. So I'm hoping to put that over in this corner. And then I think I'm going to use those 2 filing cabinets to make sort of like a little book nook type area. I'll show you when I'm done if I end up doing that, otherwise they might get moved. I'm not really sure. So that's about it for right now, and I will catch you back at the apartment. So when you come in, there is my brand new couch, and then I have my recliner over here, and this is all stuff that I'm working on right now. And then I have a box of stuff that goes to school, along with some other stuff over here that goes to school. And then some stuff I'm working on that has some of my curriculum stuff in it, so I need to go through that. And then I have this bookshelf that's sort of right now just kind of a catch-all. I've kind of have it organized with like movies that I need to organize into my other system I have. Anything that's like crafty or like supplies is up here. Electronic type stuff. This is stuff I need to organize for school. Another lamp I need to put together, and some more stuff from school at the bottom. So it's kind of a catch-all right now that's somewhat organized, and I will go through later. And then over here, I have my clock that plays music. So that goes off every hour. And then in here I have my kitchen. So I have a little hand towel for Mickey Mouse because my kitchen is going to be Mickey Mouse themed, kind of. And then I just have my measuring stuff and utensils, pepper, the spoon thing that holds, like, if I'm cooking, I can put my dirty spoons there. My toaster oven, dish drain, and then I have this other thing that's kind of like a dish drain that I can put bigger stuff on over the sink. I have some lids and stuff that I need to wash and organize still. Can opener, waffle maker, and then I have my table and my microwave cart with my microwave and some Rubbermaid and some water, some washcloths, all that. And then you come down the hallway. I have a closet in here that's somewhat organized. And it has like my vacuum, some empty tubs for moving, and just some other like random stuff that's not super organized right now, but kind of is. And then I have a coat closet. I have some shoes up there. A couple things hanging, but no really coats yet. I have like a jacket or two. And then the bottom is filled with 31 products that I need to go through and organize because I have not done that. And then I have my bedroom. So this is a giant beanbag, and you unzip it. You can see the zipper at the top, and it turns into a bed that you can sleep on. It turns into a full-size bed, but I use it more as a beanbag more than anything. And then I have containers with change. One is just change, one is quarters that I can use for my laundry machine because it's a charging one. I haven't organized any of my clothes yet, so I just have baskets of clothes right now. And then my bed. I have a fan up there for right now because I'm not sure which one I want in the bedroom yet, so I have one there and one here. And right now I'm storing it there. I have some other random like electronic type stuff and some other stuff up there I have to organize. And then I have a closet in here that has like my hair stuff and towels, bath type stuff, and then at the bottom it's just some random things that I need to organize. And here is my office. So all of this stuff in here is all for school, and some of it will stay here, some of it will go to school. I'm not really sure exactly what's going, what's not right now. And as you can tell, this isn't super organized yet. I've just barely started in here, but this is my office. So this has all my like either office type stuff, scrapbooking stuff, school stuff, and it's just kind of lots of random things right now that I have to organize still. So that is my, oh, and then I have my bathroom. And so I love Disney, so my bathroom is Little Mermaid themed, so I have a mermaid curtain, and then my hooks are all like mermaid themed. And that's about it. Hello everyone, so today is actually Monday. I had planned on vlogging over the weekend, but I actually forgot that I had to go home to where I was living before I moved. I had to work at the church nursery, and it was my last Sunday, so it was really bittersweet. You know, I'm excited to get started teaching and getting into the school year, but it was really hard leaving. I've worked there for over 11 years, so it was really hard to like realize that it's my last week there. But I did get into the classroom today. I got some stuff done, but I didn't vlog while I was there because I forgot my phone at home. And not gonna lie, I haven't come across my camera yet. I kind of know where it's at in a general area, but I haven't unpacked it quite yet. So for right now, I've been vlogging on my phone, and I forgot it. So tomorrow when I go in, I will show you what I worked on. I didn't really get a whole lot done as far as things that'd be interesting to see. The other teacher had a lot of stuff left in the classroom, and a lot of it just was stuff that I had no interest in. It was really old. There was all kinds of games that were missing pieces. I mean, I found a Trouble game, and it had the board, but it had like 3 of the pieces to move. So there was all kinds of that. There's curriculum left over, but it was for 5th and 6th grade because they had it as a different grade last year, and I'm not sure why there was 5th and 6th because there's only one of the two. But I didn't need any of that because I'm teaching 4th grade. So a lot of it was me getting rid of stuff, and I got some more of my supplies kind of organized. So I will show you all of that tomorrow. But I have been working on some stuff at home, so I will show you really quick what I have been working on. Okay, so sorry about the mess behind the gumball machine, but that's stuff that needs to go to school. So I just have it piled by my door, so it's ready to go. But anyway, this is one of the things I was working on tonight, and it is one of those candy machine, gumball machines. And so I have all these little capsules, and inside of them are pieces of paper. And so I'm going to use this for rewards for my students. And they can opt in to either getting a prize out of certain buckets that are worth, 5 points, 10 points, whatever it is. I think I'm going to have 3 levels of those, maybe 4. Otherwise, they can opt to save up and get the gumball machine. So the gumball machine is going to be kind of a chance of luck. There are some that are smaller prizes, like get a piece of candy or get something from the treasure box. But some of them are better things like, don't wear your shoes for the day, or you get to sit in a special seat or sit at the teacher's desk. So they can test their luck with the gumball machine if they wish. So like this one, it just says treasure. You get 2 items from the treasure box. Another one. So in this other one, let me undo it. This one says snack pass. So they get a snack from the teacher. So there's all kinds of those. And I actually have a pile of them left over here. I ran out of the capsules. I have 4 of them left, but they don't have lids. So whoever sent me them didn't count very well. So I actually bought another set so that I can get it at least full or pretty full. So I'm going to keep those just chilling in the lid for right now until I get those in the mail, and then I can fill them up and have it filled, and then I will take it to my classroom once it's ready. And then the other thing I worked on tonight is one of these boards. It shows where the kids are, if they are in the classroom or absent, at the bathroom or getting a drink, the nurse or office, library, or other. And I'm going to be using these little magnetic pieces. I think I got them at the Dollar Target spot. And it's supposed to be like for a calendar set that's magnetic. But I just took the numbers and I'm going to use those for like their class number and use those instead. So I will show you later what that looks like. I'm pretty sure they're in a bucket in my classroom right now. So I can probably show you tomorrow what that will look like. Hello everyone, so today is Tuesday and I am in my classroom and I am going to kind of show you around a little bit again and show you what I worked on yesterday that you missed out on. So the first thing I did was I brought in my Monday through Friday and sub-plan containers and my file grade copy containers, and I got them all labeled with it's just normal paper, and I laminated it and then I just taped it in there. And I have some at home and that's worked fine for how I stick them in there, and they hold up pretty well, so hopefully these ones will. And then this is some stuff I need to get better containers for. I have this stuff and then some games over here that the other teacher left, so I'm going to be using those for like inside recess kind of games. These ones are all fine because they're in boxes, but these I need to get some containers so I can organize them and put them away. And then I have some readers I have. Some of this other stuff is stuff that was left from the other teacher that I went through, and it's either stuff I'm going to keep or I need to look through more. I'm not really sure yet exactly, so it's just kind of piled there for right now. Over here I started putting my student supply center kind of out. I have these whiteboards that are really old and aren't in the best condition, but I'm going to use those. I think the big ones I'm going to get rid of. I really don't like them, They're really thick and they're bigger than the other ones, so I think I'm just going to get a cheap set of normal sized ones that are the thinner kind like these, and I will bring them in to use those. I have my erasers, and these are just like my crayons and markers and everything. And then I went through my cupboards and I took all the tissue and I put it up here at the top, just because I can't really reach that shelf very easily. And so it's something that if we need Kleenex, I can easily either get up there and grab it or have a student grab it, instead of taking up all my good cupboard space. I also found this and I put it together. It's a little stand that I plan on using for small groups. And on one side it has this nice whiteboard, and then you flip it around and it has like a little pocket chart. My teacher that I did student teaching with had one of these, and she used it for word study on the pocket chart side, and the other side she used for like math small groups or anything like that. So I plan on using that for my small group. Okay, I have you on this blank board right now because I have a surprise to show you all. This is something that is really, really cool, and I'm really excited to have. Look at this pretty chair. So this was made by this person who is one of our neighbors from before I moved. And he used to be a principal. He was principal when at least one of my aunts were in school. I don't remember if my other aunt or my mom had him as principal. And then after he retired, he came back to volunteer. And when my principal was on maternity leave, he was the principal for a while. So he made this for me because he's been a family friend for a long time. And since he's one of our neighbors, he knew I was going into my first year teaching. And he used to paint things like this all the time. He has a bunch of painted furniture. He does it for like charities. He has some at his house. And one of the things he used to do when he'd come in to volunteer, he'd also come for like holidays to like bring treats and things. And there was one grade, I don't remember what grade it is, and he would bring rocks and you got to paint pet rocks. And so he'd have all kinds of crazy colors like this. And I've always loved his painted stuff, and so he wanted to give me a chair. So it says, a special chair, special people, Miss Waller and her students. And it's just really pretty, and like the gold shines, and the purple on the seat is kind of shiny, but it's hard to tell in the picture. But it is just gorgeous. So this chair is going to end up being up here at that little desk. Oh, sorry, it's blurry. And that is going to be my VIP table. I don't have a whole lot set for it yet. I need to decorate it. I want to get like a little tablecloth for it, and you'll get all my VIP stuff set up. But it's going to go with that table, and the VIP student will get to use that. These I brought in today. These are all books for either my library, or some of them are things like for small groups, or sets that are like for books that are for me. Anything that's my books that are in these tubs. The other thing I worked on yesterday is I got this bulletin board up, and then I also got that one up over there. And then I have this cool little board up here. So this was from the Target dollar section, and it's actually supposed to be a calendar. So where you see the pretty rainbow at the top, that's actually just washi tape. Underneath, that is where it had the Sunday through Saturday days. So I just used the pretty washi tape to cover that up, and then in each of the boxes I wrote a student number. So this is going to be my missing work board. So I'm going to use these small sticky notes. Let's see where I stick my sticky notes. There. So I'm going to use these small sticky notes, and if the student is missing something, I'm going to write it on a small sticky note, and it will get put up here. And that way I can track what they're missing, and then when they turn it in, I will just take it off. And then I have one of these hang-up organizers from 31. And I've had this for a couple of years, and I haven't really used it. I've had one at home already that I do use, and I just had this extra one, so I decided I could really use it for school to organize my stuff. So in this spot right up here, I'm going to put a copy of our school calendar when I get it printed out. And then I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to use the other things yet for. I have some pictures for ideas that other teachers have used these for in the classroom. And I know I've jotted down some ideas like in a Word document or something somewhere. So I'm going to have to figure out what exactly I'm doing with the other spots. But I really like how that looks. And it's really cute. So that's for that. Then I have these pencil cases I got. And I'm going to use these for my pencil management. So I'm sure all of you know that are teachers, it is impossible to keep pencils with the kids. They lose them or they are never having sharpened. And I don't want them sharpening pencils all day. So right now I have a giant neon eraser in there that I got from Walmart. I think they were like 5 for $1 in the school supplies section. So they're going to have an eraser, and then they're going to have pencils in there. I haven't decided if I want to do 3 or 5. And I'm going to also put a highlighter in there. And that is all that is going to be in those pencil cases. And each one has a number on the back for their student number. And so what they're going to do is they're at the end of the week, they're going to turn these in. And if they have their eraser, their highlighter, and however many pencils I decide to put in them, then they will get some sort of a prize. It might be, 3 points on Class Dojo, or it might be a small piece of candy, or, if the whole class turns them in and everyone has everything they need, I might do a class win, because I do my management system where at the end of the day, if they have more tally marks than me, they get a class win. And that's sort of like our marble jar sort of program. And when they get so many points, they get class rewards. So I might give them like an extra class win if all of them have them. I'll kind of change it up every week and have different rewards for them. So that is what I'm going to be doing with those. So I haven't put pencils in them yet. I have these pencils, but they are not pre-sharpened. So I'm going to have to go through and sharpen them. So instead of having to fill them all with pencils again, because I already went through and did it with the erasers, I think I'm just going to have a container full of sharpened pencils on the first day, and when I'm handing these out and explaining how it's going to work, then I will give them the pencils and they can just slip them in themselves. Right now, I started on this yesterday and I need to finish them. I have these tidy tubs, so each table group will get a tidy tub that they can throw their trash in, and then they can dump it into the trash as needed. So I printed these out on sticky paper, or on label paper, so that they're sticky, so I don't have to worry about like tape or anything like that. I can just peel it off and stick them on. I got these on TPT for free. I don't remember what the store is called, but I will leave the link down in the description so you can pick them up. Once I finish with that, I have these growth mindset posters, so I'm going to work on hanging those up on the wall, and that is what I'm working on right now. So once I get that done, I will catch up with you again. Okay, I wanted to show you this really quick because I found my numbers, so I decided to do this before I work on those signs. But these are the numbers I was telling you about. They are from a magnetic calendar set. I don't remember exactly where I got it from, and if I can figure it out, I will leave it in the description. But I think they're really cute, and it makes it nice and easy to see because they're so bright. I was going to use those like glass marbles where you put like paper behind it and you number them, but these are so much easier to see, so I'm hoping the students won't lose them, and we can use these. If they do end up losing their number, then that's what they're gonna have to use, is the marble. But for right now, I really like these. They're really cute. Okay, so just to give you an update, I finished this bulletin board as well as that one over there, getting the fabric up. And then I went ahead and hung my dice, and I have these little magnetic letters. And so I hung those. So they can use these for dice. And those are from the Dollar Tree, and they come, I think, 2 in a pack. And then I was going through, and I hung up these posters. They're probably going to have to end up getting re-put up. I just used sticky tack, and they're not held on very well. It's like really slick material, and so the sticky tack doesn't really want to stick to it, so I'll probably have to end up redoing that. But I was going to put away these games that are already in boxes ready to go, and they were going to go in one of these cupboards. and I realized I hadn't gone through there. So I have all of this that was left from the another teacher that I need to go through, and there's a couple boxes down there as well that I already looked at. So I'm going to sort through this, find out what I do want and what I don't, and everything that I don't want I'm going to take to the teacher's lounge where they have the giveaway pile. Hello everyone, so I'm back in my classroom. Today is Wednesday, and I got here a little while ago, and I started organizing some of that mess I showed you before, and I got everything into containers and organized, so I'll show you right now how I did all of that. So as you can see, all the mess that was over here, and over on those desks, and the stuff that was piled over here that were games are all now put away. I even have 2 containers left over that I can use for other things. And don't mind the extra lids, those are because I have other containers sitting on my desk that I'm using for something else. And I haven't put the lids on yet. Alright, so up here I have some learning games. There's like fraction games, multiplication games, things like that. The container over here is marbles. I have it up there right now. I might end up putting it even on the top shelf. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with the top shelf just yet, but I don't want the students to have access to the marbles right now, just because I'm not sure how well they can handle those yet. Then the next shelf has these are tangram pieces and patterns they can try, pattern blocks with patterns to try, Jenga, and this is a bunch of different card games, and those they can use for Inside Recess, as well as the things that are down here. These are all games that were left from the other teacher. So those are some games that they can use for Inside Recess. And as you can see, one of my signs is already fallen. I'm going to have to fix that. I have some stuff I got from Walmart last night though, so I'm going to restick them. These are kind of my manipulative area. This top one is going to be where I put fact fluency type things. So for right now I have flashcards, some hot dots, and 3 corners. I also have a file that I got on TPT that I'm going to be printing out and putting into the dry erase pouches, and those will end up being in there. I will show you those later, and I will link them down below. And the next shelf is place value pieces, and the ones are actually down here because they wouldn't fit up on the top. The next bucket is fraction circles, and it has just circles, and then it has like them broken up into 8s and 6, etc. Then I have calculators, connecting cubes, and down on the bottom, I have some fake money, some plastic weights, dice, and craft sticks. I'm not sure how I'm going to store those other 3 little things yet. For right now, I just threw them in there so that they're out of the way. The other thing that I organized is I had all kinds of Ziploc bags. So I got some of the shoebox size Rubbermaid or Sterilite containers, and I have like snack size, sandwich, quart, and gallon, and then I have some extra ones on the side there. And I have a lot of them, so I even have some over here, and I'm going to end up putting these ones into a container, and this is my student supply area where they can grab things. So since I don't have room in my cupboard, I'm going to end up sticking those in a container and leaving them out for them if they want to grab, because I have those 4 boxes plus 4 boxes in here, and the container is completely squished full, so I have more than enough quart size. So now, oh, I also have some stuff over here that I brought from home, like some random supplies and things that I need to go through later. I also found this at Walmart, and it's this really pretty blue, like shiny tablecloth. So that is then going to end up going on this desk for my VIP table. And these are some of the supplies I need to go through and organize. So I'm going to work on this right now, I think, and get that set up. So I will show you what it looks like when it's done. So it is done, and here's my VIP table. So I really don't like how you can see the tape, but it's going to have to work. I really like this paper because it's so shiny and like pretty, but it was so hard to get it to stick to the table because it's like a foily material on the bottom, and like you can kind of hear like it's, I don't know, it's like foil. I'll show you in a minute what it, like it's on the bottom side. So I have some pencils and some little random cute erasers in here that they can use, a pencil sharpener, some stamper markers, a couple stamps. These are scented crayons and Mr. Sketch. And then I have this little garbage can I showed you before that they can use to put their scraps in. So that paper, let's go over here. So this is what it is, and so like on the bottom it's like foily and it's really loud. So I wanted it to tape down really good so I wouldn't hear crinkling all day. But it was really hard to get it to stay onto the table as well. But it looks really cute. I am going to write VIP on that little spot there. I just have not done it yet. But otherwise that is done. I'm going to start sorting through some of this and getting this all organized, and then I will catch up with you when I'm done. Okay, so to give you an update of what I've been working on, I've been going through both these file cabinets. Every single drawer was completely packed full, like to the point I could barely even pull something out. And these two piles is what I'm keeping. The rest, it was stuff I didn't want. So I think that fit in like maybe one drawer or two. The other like 6 or 7 of them were things I did not want. So I just spent a while going through them all, figuring out what it was. Most of it was 5th and 6th grade stuff. I'm not teaching 5th and 6th grade, so I piled it up into my little cart I have over here, and I took it down to the teacher's lounge, and other teachers can go through it, otherwise they will get rid of it. Hello YouTube, so I just got to my classroom. Today is Thursday, and I'm really excited because I came in to find I have 5 new desks. So they got rid of the old ones that had been sitting over in this area, and they brought the ones that are the same as what I already have, and they're new and not falling apart, so I'm really excited. Other than that, so far the only thing I've done today is bring in some stuff from home. So I have some Steerlite bins, and I will be using these for their mailboxes. A bunch of chart paper, and then let me turn you over. So I've been wanting to show you guys what I've been working on at home. So I have some of these bins. They were by Iris, but now they are by, I think, Recollections. And they have the 16 photo cases in them. And so I have one that's completely math tools. So it has all these little reference charts. Let's see if I can grab them. Okay. So I have one that is number forms, and it shows the different ways to do the numbers. One that's place value, a multiplication chart, a fraction number line, and fraction bars. And these are from TPT. There's all kinds of other ones they included. Oops. There were all kinds of other ones they included, but these are the ones that I felt would be the most useful to my students. If I end up deciding that I need some other ones, I can print them off. The multiplication chart was different from what they had. I actually found my own and just printed it because I liked the fact that it was colorful. Theirs was just black and white, and I feel like if it was colorful it'd be more helpful. So I will link that product down in the description if you're interested in getting it. And I did print a couple of extra ones somehow, so I just tucked them in the front, and I need to put them in a better spot. And I'm going to let students grab them. Once I have these set out for the students, I'll probably put a little basket out and have them in a basket, or students can grab them if they want one to keep. The other big task I've been working on is I bought a guided math bundle for centers. Sewed it through, and I did the first 2 centers that I will be using, and I put them in the Iris bins. I made 6 copies of each center just to have enough that, you know, if 2 or 3 students want to work on the same center, there's enough of them. And then I just got these little Ziploc baggies and I put them in there. So this is like center 1, and there's 6 copies. This is center 2, 3, 4, etc. And so I did the first 2 sets of those, so I have 20 centers made. Oops. And then what I'm doing for right now is just leaving them in here. I think eventually I'm going to use maybe one of those circle bins right there to put them out for whatever one is current. just so the kids aren't confused and don't grab the wrong one. And then we have these bigger graphs that don't fit in the boxes. So I think I'm going to just label them and stick them in there as well. So that's the stuff I brought today. I have a couple other papers over there I brought in. I made some labels last night that I am going to be putting on things, and I just did them on label paper so I can stick them on the containers because I don't feel like dealing with tape. And I forgot the other thing I brought. I had a stack of these dry erase pockets. I have 3 different colors. I have purple, blue, and green. And these ones I am saving for small groups. Since my classroom colors, I really picked them out with the purpose of using them for small groups. But then I had a bunch of other random colors. And so these I'm going to use for fact fluency. So I got a multiplication bundle, which I can link down in the description. And I just printed some different worksheets that are multiplication that the kids can do for fact fluency. So that's all I've done so far today. Oh, and then I brought this in that I need to label. These are going to be my trade-in trays. So I think today I'm going to start by putting up the border. I started doing it last night, but I was too hot and I started doing some other things while I cooled off and I never finished. So I'm going to get the border up on my bulletin boards, and I'm going to get these Sterilite containers out of the bin, out of the boxes. And then I'll catch up with you then. Get borders up. So the front 2 are the same border. And I'm a little bit sad because I wanted the back. Oh, and I moved my desk to where they go, so I'll show you that in a minute. I'm a little sad because these back borders, I wanted the front to be the same and the back to be the same. They're going to be a little different because I was a tiny bit short. So there's one board, and this is the other board. So it's very similar. It's just this one has this red line and then some like blue dots, where the other one just has the stripe design. So I'm a little sad that I couldn't have them be the same, but it's going to work and it'll be close enough to the same. It won't bother me too much. I'm just really sad because I was literally short, like you can see, let's see, right here to the bottom is all I would have needed for them to be the same. But I didn't have enough, so they're going to be a little different, and it's going to be okay. I also got my mailboxes out. I haven't put name tags on them because I need to wait to see what the kids look like because I'm using the melon heads, like drawer labels. I'll show you those later and link them in the description. So for right now, this is how my desks are going to be. I'm not in love with this layout, but for right now, it's going to have to work. I have, I think, 22 kids, hopefully. I'm not sure exactly. I don't have my list yet. I know last year it was like 22, 22, 23, or 24. So I might have to end up getting another one, and if so, I'll just add another single desk up here. Or, yeah, that's what I'm going to have to do. So, I have a group of 4 right here, a group of 4 right here, a row of 5 desks in the back, and you can kind of see this one back here. Oops, I'm making it blurry. This one back here I have to get raised because it's shorter than the other ones. I have 3 single desks in the middle, and then a group of 6. So you can see that desk is quite a bit shorter. I tried to organize them so that the taller ones are here, the back row, and here, so that we don't have like tall desk in front of short desk. So I just want to get that one raised, and then we'll be good to go. I think the next thing I'm going to do is go through my books and start organizing those. Oh wait, I want to do my labels first. So I'm going to put my labels onto my containers, and then I will work on my books, and then I'll catch back up with you. Alright, so to give you an update, I have my books out and sorted. So what's on the tape on the desk here are the books that are for the kids that I have so far. I'm planning on doing more when I order book orders, so I can do like 25 books for $25 or 50 books for $50 or whatever it is. But for right now, I have these ones that are organized. They have labels on them. The ones towards the back are more of my collection, so like either by author or series. And then the ones in the front are by genre. And then this pile over here are books I got kind of last minute before I moved. So I need to go through them and figure out like what's age appropriate, what's not, and get them all labeled and organized and stuff like that. And then in my cupboard over here I put the teacher books. So I have like group sets. Some of them I need more copies of, and I only have a couple copies of. Some of them I have the number I want. And then up here are some other books that are just for me. And these ones are picture books. I need to get a book bin of some kind to put those in and organize them in. And then to update you on this, I got everything labeled. And on this one, the label's actually on the front, but I have them on there sideways so that they fit better. And then I labeled all of my manipulatives and fact fluency stuff, so that is organized. Oops. These darn cupboards. Alright, and then I have the labels on my supplies. These two are not the right color. I am going to print new ones, and I'll just flip it around and put the label on the back side. I originally had it so that my Ziplocs were in the purple one, or sorry, my Ziplocs were in the blue one and my colored pencils were in the purple one, but it really bothered me that I had purple, blue, blue, green, and I'm actually going to hopefully get another blue container like this so that I can have like a green row, a blue row, etc. And then hopefully get a purple one of those so I can have it be organized better by color, because otherwise it's going to bother me. So we will see if Dollar Tree has those. Hopefully they do. So I think my next plan is going to be to go through some of these files and get them organized. I'm not going to put them away today. I found these really cute like tab things to help like find things easily. However, I ran out of black ink, so I need to wait until I get ink in the mail. But I can show you kind of what they look like. I printed one anyway with what ink I did have, and I just kind of used marker at the top to fill in. So it gave me like an outline sort of. So I'm going to test this just to make sure it works well, and then if so, then I will use these for my labels. And so what you do with these is you just like staple them onto here. So you just put it up so it sticks above, and you just staple it on, and that will help you be able to see things better. So I'm hoping that will work well. I'm not doing anything with my books right now. I need to get my book bin still, and then they will go on this shelf over here. Oh, and I have some other books over here that I got from other teachers, so I need to go through those as well. So I have a lot to do with my books, but until next week, they're going to end up just sitting on my desk like this for the next week, for the weekend, and that's gonna be okay. And I don't feel like dealing with those ones right now, so I'm gonna deal with these instead. So I'll catch back up with you once they are organized. Okay, so I am about to head home for the day. I did a couple other kind of little things, so I will show you what I did quick, and then I will catch back up with you in a little bit. So I took those two containers that had my centers in them, and I stored them down here on the bottom. The things that were down there earlier in the video when I showed you, I moved up to this middle shelf. I am going to get different containers this weekend and kind of organize that a little bit better, but for now that's there. And then up here I have those math tools so that the kids can get in them easily and they can know that's theirs, whereas these down here where the centers are not for them to get into. And then ignore my keys. I took my calendar and I punched out the pieces. I was going to hang it today, but then I realized I wanted to laminate it just to make it a little more durable and last longer. So I'm carrying this, and then I have my card over here with my poster I need to get laminated, and then the calendar pieces are down in there. And then, let's see, I think that's about it. So I'm going to head home now and get some more stuff done and get this video posted tonight. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up and make sure that you're subscribed. And if there's anything else that you would like to see or know about that you've seen in my classroom, let me know. And I will post another video at the end of next week with part 2. Thanks for watching. Bye!